Hi guys, it's Rike here and welcome to another video. If you're new here, my name is Rike and I review a lot of activewear. And sometimes I kind of mix some of my passions together. We've had nail polish and activewear before. I can link that video up here in case you're interested because I haven't done it in a hot minute and maybe I should. And of course, that is a bit more of a regular occurrence. Some books and activewear. Now, if you've never seen any of my books and activewear videos before, I show you some of the books that I've recently read and kind of liked, and I will kind of pair an activewear outfit to get like matching the book cover. Because book covers can be really pretty, they can be great inspirations for fun activewear outfits. And in case you want to see more of those videos, my whole playlist is linked up here. Always good book recommendations, obviously. I usually never review books that I didn't like. I had to do it once, but that was because, it wasn't a book advent calendar and it was a mystery thing, basically. I didn't know which books they were. And I had said I would do it and I would talk about the book and match the activewear outfit to the book cover. And, so that happened. But otherwise, generally books that I did like, I do read, like kind of everything from general like literary fiction to sci-fi. Thrillers are my most read genre, I would say. Historical fiction and what else? I don't know, like a little bit of this and that, usually some romance sometimes too, as a little palate cleanser. And so I do read quite a lot of books. You can follow me or be friends with me on Goodreads or Storygraph if you want to and follow my reading journey. I'm going to drop my profile links down in the description box so you can check that out. But otherwise, let's get into the video. As per usual, I do have 3 books for you today. That also means 3 activewear outfits, and you bet they're going to be fun. I had this planned for a while, but I was waiting for this one pair of leggings to come in to match the book cover because it was just perfect. So I had to wait. And finally, the leggings made it here this week, and now I can finally film this video. So let's get into it. I'm not going to start with that outfit though. That's going to be last. We will start with a relatively new recent book, a book that came out actually just last month in June. Now for me, this is currently July. I think this video will also come out in July. But yes, we got a new book from Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is her newest book, Atmosphere. And her books, honestly, unpopular opinion incoming, have been kind of a little bit of a hit or miss for me. I don't know, I thought Daisy Jones and the Six and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo were just fine books, but I didn't love them. They were like, just okay. However, I still do enjoy reading her books. It's just like they're not blowing me away as much as they blow some other people away. But yeah, newest book, Atmosphere, has to do with some space travel. And I do love some space travel. So I'm a big Star Trek fan, anything related to space as well, sci-fi. That's why I also like to read sci-fi, right? I was kind of a little bit intrigued. I also do love historical novels, and she generally sets her books somewhere in the past, like the more recent past, but still in the past. So still ticking multiple boxes for me this time. And yeah, this is Atmosphere. It also says a love story on here. Again, if you're wondering, because you have the book but you have a different cover, there generally are different covers for books. When a book comes out new in English, it'll generally be like the North American version will have its cover, and I think this is the North American cover, and there will be a UK cover for the books. So if you do have the other one that has like a rocket, then you probably have the UK one. I did get this one in a German bookstore because I was in Germany at the time when it came out. And this actually even specifically says this is for international sale. So it doesn't even have like any Canadian dollar prices on there. And this is Atmosphere. So I did read this. I read this in like only 2 or 3 days. It has like 100 or 300, another 100, 330 some pages. Which is perfectly fine for me, and the font was also okay, so it's not like super tight, but this is of course a bigger paperback. Yes, and we follow Joan, who is she has a PhD in like some astrophysics or whatever it was. She's teaching at a university, and she's kind of like a little bit of a gray mouse. She doesn't have any relationships, she doesn't really date anyone, But she's always dreamt of becoming like an astronaut, and all of a sudden NASA's taking women, and she applied for it, and it didn't work out in the first round, but she applied for it again, and they called her in, and she did get the job. So she is now in Houston, basically getting to know all her fellow astronaut candidates, which they call ASCAN, you know. And yeah, then, you know, you get to know all these different characters. She meets this other person, and they kind of get along really well, and you kind of feel like maybe there's something going on. So the other person is Vanessa, and then, you know, maybe there'll be a couple, maybe they won't. And of course, there's also like all these issues still. This is the 1980s that this is set in. Women in general, as astronauts, I mean, they were the first few women basically they had in the program. So they kind of had to be like model people, and a non-straight relationship was not really a thing to go for. And yeah, Joan has to like kind of discover herself a little bit, and she maybe gets to go to space, maybe she doesn't. You'll find out if you read this book. And there's of course also a tragedy that is happening. And like the book starts off with the tragedy, and then we go back a few years to, you know, Joan in the beginning. So you have like kind of like this dual timeline, the day of the tragedy, and then always going back to Joan's life and how she kind of got to the day of the tragedy. And it was like very compelling. I know a lot of people said they cried online. They said they were crying in the last few pages. I mean, I felt like, you know, it was kind of sad and like moving, but I wasn't crying. But of course, if you do, that's perfectly fine. But anyway, I like the colors of this cover. We do have like some sky blue here. We do have some pink, some orange, some darker blue. And then on the sides here, we also do have blue and orange. Now, I felt like it was kind of hard to, like, you know, just pick some colors from this cover. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to pick this blue, and I'm going to pick this orange from the side there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right? And I already had an outfit in mind as well for this, because it's an outfit I recently got, and this is all going to be Aritzia. So we do have an Aritzia sports bra here and these blue Aritzia leggings. I recently got these, like I said. I can link that video up here in case you want to see more of the stuff I got from Aritzia. But Aritzia is a Canadian company, a Canadian brand, and they do have activewear, and I think the activewear brand is called Golden now, and they do have this little logo here. But anyway, I figured the orange for the sports bra, maybe this is a tad more vibrant, but I still think it matches well. And then the blue from the leggings, see this darker blue in the font. I figured, you know, it's a good match. It represents some of the colors in the cover, like getting all is a little bit hard, but I feel like, you know, it works well. And let's talk about the pieces. So here we do have the little sports bra. It's a rather simple sports bra, but I really do like it because it is so simple and it's so soft. Like the fabric is like super soft and brushed. There's a lot of stretch to it. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have shown you the band under the chest for the stretch. There's a lot of stretch to it. We do have simple up and down straps that are adjustable. So you have the matching plastic here. We have a V neckline, and there's no removable cup pads in here, but it is double lined. And you also do have the super, super soft band on the inside. So I feel like it's like an elastic band, but it's lined with like the softest material ever. And in the back, it is, again, very simple. We do have this logo here, this golden logo. And overall, of course, just more of a lightweight, a light support sports bra. But honestly, for me, that is perfectly fine. The color is called Poppy Red. And it's basically like a red, orangey red orange, I don't know, with a little bit of a muted tone to it. I don't know, because it's not like neon orange, right? But I feel like it really matched the atmosphere font here very well, the font color, and of course the same color here as well. So I felt like, you know, that would be a good match. And then to go with that, we do have these beautiful blue leggings here. So these are like kind of the, I think, infinite cheeky leggings. You'll have the information on the screen anyway, in case I got it wrong. And these are like, I feel like super basic leggings, but they're really good. They also did have, because I went to the store when I was in Canada, to the Aritzia store, and they did have quite a lot of front seam leggings as well. But these cheeky infinite ones, infinite cheeky, I don't remember exactly, they do not have a front seam. And they also do have slightly curved glute seams here in the back and a proper seam in the back as well for some glute separation. So that is really great. The material, again, super, super soft and brushed. And look at that stretch. It is insane. Like, look at it. These, I think, are made from the same material as the sports bra. It is actually, I could tell you that, right? Made from, no, I cut out the tag, sorry. But you'll have the information on the screen, or I can show it to you. Yeah, I can look at it on the sports bra. So it's 80% nylon and 20% elastane. And you can wash it at 30 degrees Celsius. Yes. Anyway, so wide waistband as well, high-waisted. They don't have a top seam either. And then in the back, you can have this golden logo here too. And I feel like these were kind of like a 7/8 length on me. I think they did have different length options, potentially. Don't quote me on it, but I do think they had different length options. And these are probably like the 25, 26 inch. Kind of like the standard length, I would say. Yeah, and this blue was so gorgeous. And I feel like it matches so well with this orange. I feel like that's a great combination. And there's something else I wanted to say about these, but I do not remember. Like, my mind is blank right now. Oh yes, the sizing. So for the sports bra, I did get my normal size small, I believe. Yes, because this one had the normal, like, extra small, small, medium, whatever sizing. But the leggings came in size 0, 00, maybe even to, I don't know. But they were like basically the numbered North American sizing. And I always struggle with that one anyway. But I do think I'm usually like a 6 to 8 because I'm in between a small and medium with the bottoms. So I tried on the 6 and it was still way too big. So I did get a size 4 in these, and I'm definitely not a size 4. So they do a little bit of the vanity sizing, but I didn't notice it in the sports bra, just in these leggings. It's also possible it's just because the fabric is so stretchy that, you know, and I prefer a higher compression, that maybe this is why. But if you're deciding to check out these leggings, you might want to size down in general. Yes. Anyway, this is our outfit for Atmosphere. Also, by the way, in case you've read any of the books and you want to discuss them, let me know in the comments down below, right? I always love talking about books. Or if you're planning to read it, let me know too. Anyway, first book here, Atmosphere by Jenkins Reid, and let's see it on. All right, so first outfit here for Jenkins Reid's Atmosphere. And as I said, I went with the spine coloring, basically, Atmosphere, and then her name here in blue. And yeah, you know, I feel like it works, and I feel like it encompasses some of the colors of this cover. Of course, you could have gone with other blue tones, with the slight pink here, but I felt, you know, so many options. I have to decide something, so went with this. But yeah, I think it still works. Let's talk about the pieces. So we do have this nice little sports bra, very basic, but super soft, super cozy, super comfy. Definitely more of a light support, but that's perfectly fine. You have the slight V neckline here, or it's not just slight V, right? It is a deep V. Definitely low coverage. No removable cup pads, but it is double lined. You can see some nippage, but it's not so bad. Little elastic under the chest, but as I showed you already, this is super, super soft here. So really, really comfy. And then we do have the up and down straps that are also adjustable here in the back. The little TNA logo here too. And overall, you know, just very, very simple, but so comfy and cozy. And the color is gorgeous. It is this poppy red, super pretty, and works very well with this blue. And these leggings are definitely like super naked feel, quite good, like in terms of, yeah, just making you feel like you're not wearing anything. But of course you're wearing something, right? But like compression is definitely very low. As I said, this is a size 4 now, and I'm definitely not a size 4. We do not have a front seam on these. We also don't have a top seam, but they're nicely high-waisted. Belly button is there. So, you know, perfectly tucked in. And then in the back, we do have slightly curved glute seams, a proper seam in the back, and again, this golden logo here. Yeah, lengthwise, these are a 7/8 length on me. And again, they're definitely super, super lightweight. They are very, very soft, same as the sports bra, but of course not double lined, not like the sports bra. So squat proofness, not super, like it's not 100% for sure. They also don't cover cellulite as much simply because of the way the fabric is, but it's just so soft. And I think these are perfect leggings for lounging, for some lighter activities like yoga, Pilates, like that kind of stuff where you don't want a ton of compression or you don't need a ton of compression. Like this is perfect. They're so soft and so comfy. And if you shop them in Canada, the prices are also pretty good. Yeah, I noticed that they're more expensive if you don't shop in Canada, but that's just, you know, it's a Canadian brand. So I guess it kind of makes sense. But yeah, look at these colors together. I feel like this is like a really great summer outfit too. It just works. And now I have to pick up the book from the ground because I put it on the ground. Should have just put it next to me, but whatever. But anyway, this is the outfit for Atmosphere. Let me know if you think I nailed it, if you think that was a good choice. And yeah, let's move on. All right, we can now move on to book number 2. And for this one, I do have a very interesting looking cover because I feel like we don't get those colors too often. And I do have the Cautious Traveler's Guide to the Wastelands here by Sarah Brooks. And you can see, you know, it's like gold, and then we also do have a lot of black and white here. And I will be honest, before I picked up this book, I had not heard of it. I was browsing the bookstore. And again, I bought this when I was in Germany. I think like English books in Germany are so much cheaper in the bookstore than they are in Denmark. Anyway, so I was browsing and the cover kind of lured me in. Yes, I feel like, you know, I judge books by their covers, and obviously it's not like if there's a book I want to read, I will not pick it up because of the cover. But if there's a book that I don't know nothing about and then I see the cover and I find it appealing, then I might pick up that book without knowing anything about it. So this is basically what happened with this one. I forgot to tell you what I rated the Atmosphere. That one I think was a 5-star read for me. This one, The Cautious Traveler's Guide to the Wastelands, I gave 3.5 stars. I still liked it, and I think it was like a very unique book. I thought it was well written. Sometimes it was dragging on a little bit, but 3.5 stars for me. So we could round it up to 4 if you wanted to, obviously. But I still felt like the cover was also so interesting. And I usually, you know, it's always colorful outfits for the book and activewear videos. So I figured this would be a great addition to the book and books and activewear thing, you know, because it's slightly different. And also, like I said, the book was very interesting. So this is a little bit more of a, I don't know, like it's not really sci-fi. It's maybe a little bit, and then some odd stuff is happening. Like you have to, like, if you do not like things happening in books that cannot happen in real life, then you should probably not read this. So basically what this is about, there's a train going from China to Russia, going across like the wastelands. So basically the wastelands are kind of most of Russia, I guess, are the wastelands basically. In this book, they're blocked off with thick, big, tall walls. So you can travel around it if you want to go to China, for example. but the fastest way, of course, is going through. And there's this train that goes through. I forgot what the train itself is called because it, of course, had a name. But it is the train that goes through. Like we can see that it's basically going from Beijing to Moscow. And it's run by the Trans-Siberia Company, basically. But anyway, train from Beijing to Moscow. And yeah, the fastest way is going through, but it is a little bit dangerous. There's a reason why they built this wall, to contain the wastelands. And what happened is that people used to live in that area, but like strange things started to happen. Nothing really made sense anymore. And in order to not have to deal with it and figure out what's happening, they built this wall. And the train runs through, and it takes multiple days still. And of course, it's also expensive. And then we get to meet a lot of different characters that are traveling on this train. Some of them are persons or people that are working on the train, but there's of course also some passengers that we get to know. Some people have done this trip many times. Some people are doing it for the first time. And it is kind of very important that the train is, sealed off, and it has enough water for the trip, and it has enough food and everything, because they cannot use anything from the outside. And they also have to make sure nothing gets contaminated from the outside, because otherwise they're all lost. And there has been an accident with the last train that someone was blamed for because of some glass that was not strong enough or something, and the Wastelands got in, and it wasn't good. Anyway, of course, stuff is happening that shouldn't be happening, and the train journey ends in a different way than is expected. And it's like kind of odd. What happens is a little odd. Yes. Anyway, the cover, very interesting, I thought. I like shiny things anyway, so of course I was also like, ooh, shiny. And it's black and white and gold. And I am generally not the biggest fan of just black and white activewear stuff, but I figured, again, like I said, we had so many colors already. Now it is time for that. And sports bra wise, I picked some gold and white, and leggings wise, I picked some black and white. So let's see what pieces we have here. So first off, the sports bra. I thought this was from Forever 21, but I actually have no idea where this is from. I've had this for a while. And we got some snake print on there. Not necessarily the best print, like it doesn't really, there's not like snakes on the train here. Anyway, so this is a snake print sports bra. Very, very simple, double lined, but not very thick fabric. You do have space for removable cup pads up here, but there's no removable cup pads in there. And we do have a wide racer back here in the back and an elastic under the chest. Not very tight. The fabric is, like I said, very thin, a little performance-y, a little sleek, made from 95% polyester and 5% spandex. And in here it says Boom Boom Jeans and size medium. I'm usually size small in sports bras. I have literally no idea where this came from. I'm suspecting this came in a set with a legging, maybe from Amazon or something. And that's why I picked a medium, because you couldn't pick individual sizes or something. But anyway, that's the sports bra. And then leggings wise, we have these old Buffbunny collection leggings. I think they're some of my first purchases from them. They still have a front seam. Look at this. They've gotten rid of the front seam a while ago. And these are like the limitless leggings. I forgot the name of the print, but the limitless leggings. In, this black and white stripy print. First thing I thought about when I saw the cover and was thinking about leggings, I figured this kind of could match a little bit. Yes, and these are black and white, printed on white, obviously, because that's the lightest color, so the stripes might pull a little lighter if you're stretching it out a little bit. They are high-waisted. We do not have a top seam. And then in the back, we do have this V glute detailing, also, of course, from the print. So it's not just the actual seam, but it's also the print kind of doing this V glute detailing. And proper seam in the back as well. And you can kind of see like the print is set intentionally. It's not just like random, but it's set intentionally to, flatter the glutes, flatter the body. And I haven't worn these in a while. I will say that. I think I got these in a size small. I thought I got these in a size medium, but it's small. Made from the Elysium fabric, their original performance fabric. 73% polyester and 27% spandex. And this is exciting. This is very different. Of course, now we have two different prints as well, but some gold, some white, and some black for the Cautious Traveler's Guide. Let me do that again. This outfit for the Cautious Traveler's Guide to the Wastelands. It's a very long book title. Anyway, let's see it on. Okay, outfit number 2, the Cautious Traveler's Guide to the Wastelands by Sarah Brooks, and my gold, white, and black outfit to match the cover. Maybe not something I would wear paired together generally, but I feel like it kind of matches the vibe of the cover. And that is the goal in this, to put together some outfits that do work together, obviously, but also maybe some unexpected combinations like this one, and something that does match the book cover. So I feel like, it works. Like, look at, we got gold, we got black, we got white, we got some patterns, and yeah. I think this is the best I could have hoped for, honestly. So let's talk about the pieces. The sports bra, again, I have no idea where this is from. I do not remember, but I do have it. So there's that. It's a little bit big, as you can see. We have some, just things here. A little bit of extra space, a little bit of air there. But otherwise, it is quite covering, good type of coverage, higher neckline. No removable cup pads, but space for them. Honestly, I don't think there's a seam in the middle though, so if you put some in, they will definitely move around a little bit. It is double lined. And then we have the elastic under the chest here. And then in the back, just a very wide racer back, very, very covering in the back here. And support-wise, I would say this is definitely more of a light support, simply also because it is too big. But it has the gold, it has some white in it. It's a little animalistic because of the animal print. And yeah, I feel like it's still a good match. I did have some other gold options, but none of them were like the right shade of gold. Because this is a little bit of a darker gold, right? And I did have some lighter gold, some more white gold. And I felt like none of them really matched. I had some gold that was too yellow. And like, you never realize how many shades of certain colors there are unless you actually like try to find an exact shade. Like, I think last time I did a Books Activewear video, I noticed that was like a light blue. I figured, okay, I have this light blue somewhere, but it was like such a particular shade of light blue that was difficult to find. And now with gold, so difficult to find that exact shade of gold that you're looking for. But I think the one in this sports bra is actually quite close. Of course, harder to tell because it is mixed in with white, but still quite close, I think. And then of course, these leggings, like I said, these were the ones I immediately thought of when I thought about adding this video, this book to this video, to Books and Activewear. Because we do have just black and white here. And I honestly don't have that so much because I'm not necessarily a fan of black and white that much. I like colors. And this is not colors. However, I did like that these were so different and that the pattern is like so different. I've so far only paired these with a black sports bra, honestly, like nothing else, just a black sports bra. I don't even remember if they had a matching sports bra for these ones. If they did, I didn't get it, but I just paired it with black and that works fine. But yeah, it's just so interesting. And like I already mentioned before, you can see the print is intentionally placed. So it's not like random, it is definitely intentionally placed. You do have a front seam here, but we do not have a top seam. And then there's also no side seam detailing. Lengthwise, they are kind of a 7/8 length on me. And then in the back, we do have the V for the glutes here, and you can again see that the print is intentionally placed also to flatter the glutes a little bit. We have this still triangular shape, kind of helping the triangular glute seam here as well, or the V glute seam is not triangular, right? It's just V. But we have this V shape here as well, and then you just have intentionally placed print everywhere. Also here on the side, it's kind of like glute detailing here as well with this, V. And then again on the calf as well. So there's definitely a lot going on too. And I honestly think they couldn't have done it with any other color than black and white because there's so many stripes and V's and whatever. So there's a lot going on. And of course, making it in black and white makes it a little bit easier on the eye. But yeah, I do think these are super fun. I will also say that, so I got these in a size medium. This is the Elysium fabric. And I have just tried another pair of their Buffbunny collection performance leggings in a medium that I just got new. And the fit is so different. This fits like looser than the recent medium I got, but it might also just be the finish. The other one is a little bit shiny, and you'll see it in a second. I don't want to spoil too much, but still. Anyway, These are actually really fun. I should really get these out of my closet some more. They're different, they're fun. With my slightly tan feet, it actually doesn't look so bad with the white, I think. Yeah, my tummy is not tanned, but you know, my feet and my arms are getting a little bit more. I don't know if you can even tell the difference. I can, but yeah. Anyway, so this is my outfit for the Cautious Traveler's Guide to the Wasteland. And let me know if you feel like I nailed this one. Let's move on. Moving on to book number 3 with a very different color palette as well. So that's going to be exciting. And we have the Sirens by Emilia Hart. Now, I had loved her debut novel, which was called The Wayward, not with the, just Wayward. And I think I did a Books and Activewear about that one. I will try to see if I can find that individual video and link it up here as well. Because honestly, like the colors weren't too different, but they were slightly different. They were definitely different. We did have some pink on it as well. And now for this one, there was also multiple covers available. So there was this one, obviously. I mean, that's the one I have, with some pink and then a lot of teal. And you can see the fish scales and a fish tail here, or a mermaid tail, I guess. And there was also one that was a little bit more blue, but also had like underwater themes. Obviously, this is, you know, the sirens, not like the police sirens, but like the sirens in the ocean. And I feel like there was another one still, but they were all so pretty. Like it was really hard for me to decide which one I wanted, honestly. And I just got the one that was cheapest. I will also say I had this lying in the sun a little bit, so the pink is not as vibrant here anymore as it is on the side. So it used to be like this. I feel like the pink itself, pink specifically, does bleach quite a lot in the sun. So I do have some of my pink books have bleached quite a lot, where I have them positioned right now. And it has happened in a very short amount of time. So I need to do something about that because, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but still would be nicer if that didn't happen, you know? Anyway, I was just looking at my bookshelf over there because it's not like this is not the final bookshelf solution anyway they have right now. And yeah, it would be nice to have them a little bit more protected from the sun so that they don't all bleach. Yeah, anyway, it's more of a vibrant pink like this and not like this. So just know that. But the Sirens. So I do believe I gave this like 4.5, 5 stars, something like that. I'll just put it here on the screen so you know exactly. But yeah, I did love her first book. I feel like this one was not as good as her first book, Wayward, but it was still really interesting. And this is a story about 2 sisters. And this is set in Australia, because I believe the author, she's originally from Australia, and she lives in London now or something. Some of this is also based on like historical things that happened. But of course, it's still a work of fiction. Yeah, I figured there was some author information, but anyway, it's set in Australia. So there's 2 sisters. The one sister, she has like a traumatic experience, and she also has some weird nightmares reoccurring that feel really real about her being trapped underwater in a ship, but like back in 200 years ago. So we do have dual timelines here as well. We have Lucy, who's, you know, the one sister, and then we also do have I would say she's the main character. And then we also do have Mary in 1800 Ireland. So Lucy, present day in Australia, Mary and her sister in Ireland. They are they haven't really committed a crime, honestly, in my opinion. But they're sentenced to be brought to Australia for, well, either being sold as women bodies, or for labor, basically, right? Because that's what the British colonies sometimes did. It just brought people to Australia for labor, into labor camps. But anyway, so they're being put on the ship that goes to Australia in 1800 or around 1800. And Lucy is in present day Australia and having these kind of nightmares that somewhat have to do with Mary and her sister's story. And Lucy also does have a sister. She hasn't been talking to her a lot recently, but she all of a sudden feels drawn to have to go visit her after she has a traumatic experience. And she goes out to that small town in Australia. She drives there. It takes a long time to drive there, and her sister lives by a cliff. She bought a house there that's basically set on the cliff, and there's some things happening in the small town. She gets to know some of the people living there, but no one knows where her sister is. So her sister is just gone. Has been missing for days. Her sister is an artist and has painted some paintings that Lucy can relate to, and they seem to be something that came from her dreams. So now she's also why is my sister, how does she know what my dreams look like? So there's some magical realism in the story. So again, you have to kind of, magical realism, things that don't usually occur in real life. And we get to know more about Mary's sister's story on this convict ship, and about Lucy and her sister's story. And there's, of course, some twists and some turns, and we learn all about some stuff of legends, the Sirens. And I feel like it was also a good story about friendship and sisterhood. And it had this historical fiction element as well. And like I said, some of this was from actual history. So I believe the ship was kind of that existed, for example. And I thought it was quite interesting. I liked it. And now, of course, I also do like the cover. We do have pretty colors, and these are the leggings that we're going to see in a second that I was waiting for this book. But we do have pink for the sports bra and perfect siren leggings here. They're sparkly. I hope you can see that they're sparkly. Maybe if I open this and hold it really into the sun, you can kind of see it a little bit better. But they are sparkly leggings. Anyway, so we will talk about the individual pieces here, of course. First up, I have this sports bra for you from Buffbunny collection. This is reversible, but today we're going to worry about the pink on the outside, which was called Candy Crush, I think. And it is a deep V here. We have a little keyhole moment. It is a bit of a long line number because we also have this band here. Not an elastic or anything. The elastic is at the very bottom, but this whole thing is just a fabric band. This is double layered. It does not have removable cup pads, but it is a thicker fabric, so the double layers are fine. You'll still see some nippers though. And then in the back, we do have some crisscross strap action here. A tone and tone silicone logo. Oops, was it on the other side? Yep, on the other side, tone and tone silicone logo here. And then just the thin straps here that crisscross as well. They're not adjustable. I kind of wish they were, but they're not. So it is what it is. And this is definitely also more of a light support number. Came out, was it last year? I believe this one came out last year, yes. During summer. And on the other side, we have the pink fashion print that the Buffbunny collection has brought back a few times now. But we're worrying about the pink. And then these leggings are also from Buffbunny collection, and they're from one of their more recent launches. These are the Rebel Leggings V2. Now, I haven't tried these on yet. And I will also make a video where I compare these. First of all, I talk about them in a little bit more detail, and we compare these to the original Rebel leggings, because the original Rebel leggings are some of my favorite shiny leggings, and they didn't need changing. So I don't know why they changed it. I mean, the material is definitely different, but I also have heard from other people that the fit is different, and that I do not like. The material is different, as it is not the Elysium fabric material that we've heard of before with the white and black leggings, 73% polyester, 23% elastane. But here we have 75% recycled polyester and 25% spandex. So a little bit of a difference here. But I think people have said the rise is not as high anymore, and I love that high rise. So we'll see if this is high enough for me. And yeah, just overall a little bit of changes here and there. I also did get these in a size medium because I was hoping I'd get a little bit more of a height in the waist for that. From this, also it's a performance material, so it does have a little bit more compression, although this one is not as bad as the original Elysium fabric, where we do have a little bit more of the compression. So I have the other ones here, right here. But why I wanted these specifically for this book is because the colorway is called Siren Holographic. And I figured, you know, it matches color-wise quite well because it has like the green and the teal in it. And also it's called this like Siren Holographic for the book, The Sirens. It was just too perfect to not wait for it. And yeah, I originally thought I didn't have to wait for too long, but then the package got lost and I had to resend it. So I waited like a whole month longer than I needed to. Anyway, we have it now. And this is our little outfit for the Sirens by Emilia Hart. And again, remember this is the actual pink, not this one. But yeah, let's see it on. And last but not least, my outfit for the Sirens by Emilia Hart with our pink and the Siren holographic, fittingly. Yes, as I said, it's not this pink, it's the pink on the side. It's a little bit brighter, so that's why we have bright pink here. And that is also kind of the color that she had in her first cover. There was also very bright pink there. But yeah, we got fish scales on here, mermaid tails and everything. So the siren color, or the siren holographic, the name and the color matches definitely. It's the vibe of the book. We do have some of the darker colors in there and some teal and some green if I move around. So I feel like it's like multifaceted, just like fish scales or mermaid scales would be, which is why I think this works perfectly well. But let's talk about the pieces. So here we have that Buffbunny collection of reversible sports bra. Yeah, a little wide neckline here. I kind of wish it was a little bit closer. That would probably also give a little bit more lift, right? But so far I didn't have any nippage spillage with this one yet. So that it's okay. So far it has been holding up okay. We do have a double lined fabric here, super soft and brushed, but there's no removable cup pads in here. We do have the little keyhole moment. I don't get under boob here, but maybe you could if you have a bigger chest. And then you have this band under the chest as well. So no elastic here, it's just in the seam at the bottom. But yeah, just fabric. And on the inside, I already showed you that we have this pink passion print. But we care more about the bright pink here. And then in the back, nice and strappy. I like that too. I like a good strappy bag. The straps are stretchy, but not adjustable. Kind of wish I could make them a little bit shorter. But yeah, stretchy at least. And overall, you know, it's a nice strappy bag. Like I said, I like it. I like it very much. Yes, and then let's move on to the leggings. These are the Rebel Leggings V2 by Buffbunny Collection, and I am sad to say that they've definitely ruined the Rebel leggings. However, I still needed to use these because of the Siren holographic colorway. Exactly. The Siren leggings, they're not the Siren leggings. They also do have Siren leggings, but they're not shiny, and I don't have them in the... I might have had them in the right color. I could have taken those too, I guess. But I feel like the holographic kind of matches a little bit more with the fish scales. With the Siren leggings, I do have them in a teal color, so it would have matched in a one-dimensional way, I guess. But anyway, we have these now. So this is a performance material. The Rebel leggings are always made from a performance material. Now it's slightly different. It feels a little bit tighter, honestly. And this is V2, so they also did change the rise of these. Now they're a mid-rise for me, not a high rise anymore, and I do not like that. They are also shorter. They are kind of getting close to capri. Definitely not a 7/8 length on me anymore, and the normal Rebel leggings were. We have no front seam, no top seam, no side seam detailing. And then in the back, you have a slight V for the glutes, and unfortunately, the seams also sit on the glutes. They're not high enough anymore. They used to be nice and high, but now they're kind of sitting on the glutes. Not as flattering anymore as they used to be, that is for sure. We also do have a little tone and tone logo, and you can kind of see it dips a little bit lower here in the back for me as well. Even though this is a size medium, it still dips lower. When I squat, it also comes a little bit lower, and I don't like that. So yeah, definitely mid-rise, not high-rise. I want my high-rise back. Still like the colorway, but I do not like the changes they've made to these leggings. So I don't really want to recommend them too much unless you are a fan of mid-rise or you have a shorter torso or you're a shorter person. This might still work for you. But for me, with my longer torso, this is not the rise I go for. So yeah, anyway, I do still think this outfit looks really fun together. The teal, kind of greenish, bluish, turquoise, tealish holographic here, and the pink. I think it does match the book cover quite well. Again, not with the base lighter color of the scales here, but definitely with the idea of the scales, and the lighter color is in there. When I move, right, you can kind of see it shimmering and shining through, and we're also getting the darker colors here. In the back, you can also see some of the darker colors, so I feel like it definitely does match. And it's just a vibe with the siren, you know, the sirens, siren holographic. I mean, how could I not? Let me know if you feel like I nailed this. Yeah, and let's move on. It's conclusion time. Let me just grab the pile of books and activewear. It's always really hard to pile that up without it falling over. Exactly. So here we go. Books and activewear. 3 different outfits here. I guess I should hold it like this so you can kind of see the books themselves as well. Yeah, let me know which outfit was your favorite. Also, if you have a favorite book out of the 3. Maybe you've read some, maybe you haven't, maybe you've heard of some, maybe you haven't. Let me know. Again, if you want to see what I'm reading, or you want to be friends on Goodreads or on Storygraph, my profile links, because it's multiple, are in the description box down below. So follow me along, follow me, I don't know, be friends, whatever. And yeah, let's continue reading, shall we? But yes, let me know which outfit was your favorite as well, of course, or which activewear piece, you know. And yes, anyway, this is it. This is another installment of Books and Activewear. If you like this video, give it your thumbs up. If you have any feedback, any suggestions, also book suggestions. It doesn't just have to be activewear suggestions, right? You can drop a comment down below. You can follow me on Instagram and see some of the pieces in action there. Or DM me there, but I'm more likely to see your comments here on YouTube. So if there's anything you want to get off your chest, you want to let me know, drop a comment down below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it your thumbs up. Did I already say that? I don't know. But I haven't said you should subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Because yeah, otherwise, you know, you might miss some new videos, and there's going to be new videos every week. So actually usually 2 a week, twice. You know, I upload twice a week generally. And I'm trying to keep that up as much as I can. So yeah, you don't want to miss a video. I can't talk anymore. It's not even like, it's currently midday and I can't talk anymore. This is great, right? Anyway, I have lots of great ideas for new upcoming videos, but of course, if you have any, like I already said, drop a comment down below. If there's anything particularly you want me to talk about, Let's do that. Also, I just noticed that video 400 is coming up very soon. So that's also exciting. If you've ever like any questions, for a little Q&A session, you can also drop the questions down below. Otherwise, I'll just probably do a fun video for number 400. We'll see. It's so many videos, hours and hours of footage. Oh my God. I can't believe I made it this far. Anyway, we're not there yet. So this is the activewear and books video, books and activewear. Number, I don't even know how many I've done already, 6, 7 or something, but I will keep them coming for sure because there's lots more fun books to talk about, lots more pretty covers. I already have like a few more like already lined up, Anyway, thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye.